Hello everyone, my name is Benjamin Dare, sales engineer here at Rondos, with another interesting use case of how Power Connect can help you master system administration of SAP. So in this use case, we are going to talk about how Power Connect is sending data from SAP to Splunk, and we're going to look at an often overlooked critical area of SAP, and that has to do with printing. People don't often think of printing as being critical. It's a nice to have, but I can tell you, having worked in a manufacturing organization where there are trucks on the dock waiting to leave, that if they cannot get a bill of lading, the cost can be very substantial because trucks cannot leave. There are fees and fines associated with those, and depending on the cargo that is being carried, those fees can be very, very high. So let's take a look here. This is of the SP01 transaction, and I actually just went back and looked at spool requests here over the last 24 hours, and there were over 6,100 different print requests. And so it generated a big list. And I think the other thing that we'll figure out here is there's no real way to group this information. We have no idea if there are like large clusters of printing going on. Like, is this to being overworked? How do we know if there are any kind of bottlenecks in terms of batch processing, etc., right? So it's kind of a mess. And again, this is one of those things, we send it over to Splunk, and now look, we have all this other extra information that is being extrapolated from the data that we're sending from Power Connect. So we can look at things like spool requests over time, which can be important because we're always looking for anomaly detection, and making sure that we have enough resources in the system to be able to handle those number of requests. Same thing for the number of pages being printed, right? Like, are people starting to print things willy-nilly, and we need to look at things like paper costs? And then in that example I gave earlier, looking at the time that it takes for a document to get from the request state to the printer can be very critical, especially in those time crunch scenarios where there's somebody waiting for something to leave. So again, just another small area, one of thousands of use cases that we get from sending SAP data via Power Connect to Splunk, but immensely helpful. And I hope you found it as helpful as I do. Please reach out. Let's get a demo scheduled for you and your organization. Thank you. Have a good day.